Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Scrap Mechanic. Now, mining. You know, the thing where we look at pretty-looking rocks like this and just think, mine. One of humanity's greatest achievements. The ability to just see something laying on the ground and claim it as their own. Now, what happens, though, when the thing that the person wants happens to be underwater, where, you know, they can't breathe and stuff? That's where underwater mining comes into play. Now, I have not tried to mine underwater in Scrap Mechanic ever, but I've heard that it's not easy, because once you break down the rock and separate it from the ground, the individual pieces tend to float around and stuff, and just overall, you don't have a good time trying to actually mine those pieces. But I have an idea for a pretty cool underwater mining vehicle concept. I just want to build it and see what happens. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. Either way, it should be entertaining just to at least try it out. So the concept that I have in mind is, a squid miner. So I'm imagining the head of the squid or the octopus or jellyfish. It could be a jellyfish miner too. I mean, depends on how you want to look at it, really. I think jellyfish probably makes the most sense with the image I'm seeing in my head now. But the head of the jellyfish will essentially be what has all the flotation material and buoyancy control in it. And then there's going to be 4 arms that are hanging down, and the arms are going to be made of drills. And we will be able to like open and close the arms to drill around the rocks and also like flatten out to press down on whatever's on the ground. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but the image in my head seems cool. So let's try to build this thing. All right, so I'm starting with the pilot's compartment. This is gonna be the top of the jellyfish. I'm just realizing I didn't really plan out how I was going to make this thing move around. I was really only considering the mining mechanism, not the mobility aspect of this. So, I mean, when we're underwater, the only real propulsion method we have is thrusters, and thrusters are massive. At least if you're not using mods, which I am not using mods for this. So, I'm thinking it through right now, trying to figure out where I'm gonna place these things. Okay, I've put 12 thrusters on this thing, and I think with these 12 thrusters, I should have full control over up, down, forward, backwards, rotating left and right, and strafing left and right. Because if you're gonna be like in a 3D space like water, you really need the strafing ability if you're going to be targeting something below, especially something below you. You really need to be able to like move in any direction without having to like turn around while going forward. So programming this thing is going to be the tough thing, because I'm going to have all these side thrusters here. They're going to work together to function as both directional and rotational thrust. All right, I think I've got everything hooked up, so let's test out the controls here. We should have up. Oh my, I did not expect to be able to lift up off the ground with this. So that's up, and then we should have down. Perfect. Then we should have rotate left. Oh no. Oh. I know what the issue is. The issue is all of these have to be OR gates. None of these are gonna work if they are AND gates. Okay. I have multiple buttons hooked up into each of these logic gates for different functions, which means an AND gate isn't going to respond unless all of those buttons are active, but I need them to be active for different reasons at different times. Okay, so up, down, left, perfect, right, perfect. I mean, they seem different. It's probably just the ground friction. Forward, backwards, strafe left, strafe right. Look at that, full control. All right, this right here. Oh, this is actually really cool. If I wanted to right now, I literally have full control over this. Oh no, you know what I don't have? I don't have tilt. I don't have pitch or roll. But because we're a jellyfish, we're supposed to be upright the whole time, so that is not a factor that we have to worry about. We are going to be corrected vertically the whole time. So this has all the other controls. All right, guys, now it is time. It is time to make at least this part right here. We're gonna make this look a little bit more professional. Actually, who am I kidding? It's gonna be a lot more professional after I'm done with it here. Oh yeah, look at that. What design team is in charge of this one? Wedge Gang, that's who. Okay, now that I got the whole top section designed, does this thing even float by default here? Okay, it does, but we're probably gonna have to make it float more. I might have to add some bubble block reinforcement to this thing, because we're adding all these drills to the bottom. It's definitely going to make it, sink probably. But you know what? Let's wait until we get there, because we need to neutralize it. We don't want to go overboard before we even know what we're dealing with. Let's add all the weight we need and then focus on balancing it. Okay, now here comes the interesting part. This is where we are going to be attaching all of our drill mechanisms and creating our arms. And wow, this takes up a lot more space in relation to how big I built everything else. A lot more than I was expecting it to. So this is definitely going to be interesting here. I also need to make these arms fold in and out like a jellyfish. Oh boy, what did I get myself into? I am over-engineering an underwater mining vehicle that ultimately is probably gonna just not work well. All right, so here is what one arm's gonna look like. I'm gonna have 3 drills per arm, and at the end here, I've given myself some freedom for adding on by adding that cross joint with the pipes. So if I want to add more to this, then I can add more to this, but this is gonna be my starting point. So I should be able to weld all 4 of these right onto here, and we should have like our basic form ready to program. There it is. Okay, let's see how it looks when I do this. Yeah, that's kind of jellyfish-esque, isn't it? Look at that. Yeah. And then I just imagine it drilling stuff and, like, you know, enclosing around it and then flattening down on top of the thing. I don't know if this is gonna work. Only one way to find out. Let's start programming this thing up. Okay, I think I got it programmed up. Unfortunately, I don't have as many buttons as I was planning on using for controls. I have a piston under here, and I also have, like, other things that I wanted to do, but I can't do it yet. But let's figure out how this feels as far as the actual other stuff. So, all right, we can do this, and then we can activate them for mining. Oh, whoops. Hold on. One of them is not set on loop. Gotta make sure we have it on loop. There we go. All right, there we are. So do you think this will be able to mine stuff? I hope so. Okay, so one of the things I want to be able to do as well, I need some electric engines because I actually want to be able to turn this whole thing. Now, there's going to be like a counter torque that happens up here as well, but that's just something that we're just going to have to deal with that. All right, so now, oh my goodness. Okay, that's a little bit fast, but maybe underwater it's going to be slower. But why don't we just adjust the engine speed? Okay, this is looking okay so far. Now, what I don't have control over is, I intended there to be a piston. There is a piston underneath that you can see. I intended that to be able to extend as well, but if you look at my button controls, they're all full. All of these buttons are just for maneuverability and thruster control. And then I have 9, which is to do that. Wait, how did that get reversed? What? Did I do that? Huh, that got reversed. But yeah, 9 does this, and then 10 turns these on. Oh, look at that. I was wondering what would happen if those go all the way in as much as they can. I should probably adjust that so that they don't collide like that. Let's do 75 degrees instead of 90. How's that look? That actually looks pretty good. 75 degrees looks pretty good. All right, I don't know what to do about that piston. I guess maybe we just don't need it and we don't use it. Okay, I'm gonna paint this up and we're gonna do our first maiden voyage, our first test to see if can we even float this thing in the water, let alone mine stuff. Okay, it is time. Let's put this thing in the water, see if it floats. With all these drills, there's no way. There's no way this amount of wood is gonna make this thing float. This thing's gonna sink like a rock, isn't it? Okay, and go. Yeah, is that okay though? That might be okay. I was just kind of hoping to have it more neutral. Let's see how navigation goes. Let's get in this thing, try to navigate our way around. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to go up. That's not, all right, I need to boost these thrusters a lot. The up and down thrusters, up and down movement underwater is a lot more difficult than side to side movement. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to go up now. All right, go forward. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, I definitely am going to need some more buoyancy on the top of this thing for sure. Turn the drills on. So this is what we look like. This is actually pretty cool looking. I like the aesthetic of it. If we were to just like, you know, come down on a rock like this, and then close in around it, grind it down. As it gets lower to the ground, we just kind of lower on top of it, do some drilling, and then here is... Okay, that's not exactly how I was anticipating that working. I knew there was going to be a counter torque, but I didn't realize the weight difference. The intent was to have the drills circulate across the ground because I know that there's these gaps on all of the corners that a bunch of rods are just going to not get broken down. So moving the drills like this was the intent. It still works. It's just really, really slow. Okay, so let's add some bubble block to this thing and try to make it float a little bit more. Okay, I've reached a state of positive buoyancy, which is a good thing because now I can add concrete to give the top some more weight, which will help counterbalance the torque, which should hopefully allow us to spin the drills a little bit faster rather than just the top spinning faster. Okay, look at this. We're like perfect. Wow. Look at that, it just stops. It just stops. Okay, all right, now let's paint up all the stuff I've added and let's spawn in a rock and do this. All right, there's our stone. That stone is mine, so therefore we must mine it. So let's turn on the drills. How do I control this thing? Ah, yes, forward is like that. Now we can go down, close in around it. Oh my, whoa. Oh no. I'm starting to see where the difficulties are. These stones go flying. All right, but man, see, like right here is where I wish I could just extend the piston down. But let's go with this. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. I see getting those loose pieces that's where I think the difficulty is gonna come into play. Ooh, look at that. That was pretty good. All right, I don't know where the front is. I don't know how to tell which way is forward. Everything is symmetrical. Okay, this way is forward. There we go. All right, let's go down a little bit more, close in on this. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the entire rock node. I'll just go down to all of the solid pieces, and I think we've just done it. Okay, so now, where's forward again? There's forward. Let's see what happens if we do this part of the plan. Just going down from above. There we are. And now the idea was to rotate this. Okay, this isn't working out that well. This is not working out nearly as well as I thought it was going to. What's going on here? Yeah, this is what I was afraid of, is these loose pieces. They don't seem to respond very well to the drills. All right, well, what if I close in around them? What about this? What? What? How is that not working? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, that worked. This closing strategy might actually be like what saves me here. I only intended the closing strategy just to be for the big rock, not these individual pieces on the sea floor. This was my plan for the sea floor, was just to go down from above like this as like a flat open. Oh, it's working now. Wow, why is it working so good now? It was not working at all before. All right, and now let's do the rotational thing. The rotational thing's kind of working now. Yep, keep rotating into the stones. Look at this. Now, I don't know how I would use a resource collector to pick this stuff up in this thing. I don't know where I would fit that. All right, we go down and we rotate. Yeah, I don't know what was with the beginning there. We were having a real big slowdown at the beginning, but now everything is working pretty much as intended. Yes, yes. This actually works really, really well. All right, close down on it. I like the closing feels so good. Yeah, that feels so good. It works so well too. Okay, you know what I really need to do? I need to have a bright marker for the thrusters that I want to look at, that these are going to be the back thrusters. So when I see this, I know that I will go in the forward direction away from that. Okay, let's close in around this one. If I can just turn this entire rock node into all resource rods, that would be great. All right, let's see how fast we can go. I have follow cam on now. Oh, see? Oh, we're having a hiccup again. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, open back up. All right, let me try the flat strategy again this time on this one here. The only problem is we have those gaps. Yeah, I think closing in on these is the most efficient way to do it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we have those gaps in between the center one and the arms. In order for the arms to close in without colliding with that center drill, I had to leave a bit of a gap there. So that makes coming down on a single piece not quite as efficient. What if I'm like on the edge like this though, on one of the arms? That actually works out really well. I was a little bit concerned at the beginning there with the performance of this, but now it's working fine. Here, let's do a closing method again. So good. So good. This is just some alien technology, it looks like, doesn't it? Like, I feel like I'm doing underwater harvesting on an alien planet. Or, like, just... This almost feels like I'm just eating. Not even harvesting. Like, I'm an actual biological life form, you know, eating the minerals from the ocean floor. Getting my sustenance. This is so good. Like, there's just a few more of these left. And the balance of this thing is so much better. It actually, even though it does lean forward, like when I go forward and back, you can see it does lean forward a little bit, but it kind of caps out. It's not gonna keep flipping forward, and that gives it a bit of a realism feel because you kind of lean in the direction that you're gonna go. That's just kind of how it works anyway. So it looks more realistic, actually. Look at that. Yeah. What if I just sweep the floor like this, actually? I can just I can actually like do some trolling here, or trawling, whatever the pronunciation is. Yeah, just like dragging across the sea floor a little bit. These spots are a little bit shaky. These ditches next to these rocks here. I don't know how to handle this as much. All right, come on. There we go. Okay, I think this one might be the last one. So I should just be able to come right down on top of it like this. Maybe if I spit, oh, there it goes. We got it. And you see anything else? Oh, I do see some. Some of these went flying off in this direction over here. Here we go. Let's get over this. Come down on the strafing is so useful. Very, very useful. Go ahead and close in on this one. There we go. Open back up, and I think this might be the last one. I'll do one more check after I get this one. All right, close in on it. Ugh. And what if I rotate like this while I'm closing in on it, it just gives me that much more contact with it. And if we look around here, I think we've done the entire thing successfully. Oh, this one went flying way over here. Look at this stray piece of stone here. But don't worry, we have the mobility. No stone will escape the wrath of the underwater jellyfish miner. And there we go. I think that's all of it. Unfortunately, I did not manage to engineer this thing to be able to pick up the rods. Then again, with one resource collector, we wouldn't be able to pick all these up anyway. I totally would be able to if I had a resource collector on this thing. With the mobility that this thing has, it's super easy to just drive this thing around underwater. And our balance is so good. Like, look, when I stop doing everything, we're just solid. We are right here, not going up, not going down. I thought this was going to be a bad idea that wasn't going to work out very well, but it actually turned out to be just the opposite. And you can see on the top here, I gave myself, you see this hole in the top? That's there for a reason. I was actually almost stuck in my vehicle earlier when that was all filled in, but now when I get out, you can see it just pops me right up into that area. Otherwise, if it was filled in, I'd be stuck inside the bubble block. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, a successful underwater jellyfish miner. It might not be the most practical thing, but it is definitely not the most impractical thing. I'm actually pretty proud of how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you have any other ideas that you'd like to see me try to do in Scrap Mechanic, also leave that down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some other stuff on the channel as well. You can check that out on the end screen right here. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.